What's going on, y'all? Matt Lemoyne back here with another episode of Life After Moto. Today's guest is Chris Gosselaar, is a name of many fans remember from one of the toughest eras in motocross. A consistent front runner in the 125 class, Chris built his career on grit, determination, and hard work, earning multiple podiums and finishing runner-up in the 2006 East Coast Championship. But like many riders, the real story didn't end when the racing slowed down. On this episode of Life After Moto, Chris opens up about his journey through racing, the challenges that came after stepping away from competition, and what it looks like beyond that last gate drop. This is Chris Gosselaar on Life After Moto. And what's going on? How have you been?
Good, just being a dad. You know how it is. Same thing, 2 girls.
Yeah.
It's a little rough.
Yeah, I get I
It's
definitely
fine.
can yeah, definitely can keep you busy at all points of the day. And I don't know where the energy comes from. There's
Oh, God.
definitely dude, it's like
I
100
feel
mile an
like
hour wide open.
I've told my wife, like, I don't know how many times, I feel so bad for my parents. 4 boys. Like, I look back now, I'm like, "Dude,
Dude.
I would've jumped off a bridge. I can't."
And we definitely wanted a boy, and
Oh, yeah,
it's like
you're
people are
not
like,
gonna
"Man, be careful what you wish for because
No, no, no. I
man,
know
those
what.
boys are wild."
When you're
Yeah.
a bad boy, you're gonna have girls. You know it. I knew I'd
Dude,
always have
it's
girls,
funny. It's funny
you
you
know?
say that, dude, because I look at all the moto people that I know. I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of the moto people I know all have girls. Like, there's a
And
whole
it's
lot of
rough.
girls
It's
running
rough. We go
around.
back to it's so much worse now with the phones, and imagine if we had that back then, and I
Oh
look
man, I could no,
like
I couldn't. I couldn't imagine.
yeah, luckily, yeah, I don't know. My girls are good. I mean, the little one's wild, but they're they've been raised right. I hope.
But yeah, man, let's start it off. Let's what I wanted to do was kind of start from the beginning. Like, what got you into racing? Um,
Um,
and yeah, how did that start for you? I mean, obviously you had older brothers that
it
probably rode or
No, I'm the oldest. I have 3 younger brothers. It wasn't like I think I rode for the first time when I was, like, 2.5. My dad wouldn't let me ride. I got a PW 50 that my dad's good friend gave to us, luckily, and I had to learn to ride a bicycle at first, no training wheels, so I learned, like, that day. I can kinda remember everything, like, when I remember getting my first big crash, my throttle stuck. I think I was, like, 3, and I was in the backyard. I remember it was bad. I don't know how it happened. And, I went through the shed, but we didn't ride that much, like, we'd go to the desert. I raced I think, like, 3 times maybe when I was, like, 3 or 4, and then didn't really we'd ride, like, once a year at the desert, and, yeah, never really rode a lot until I was 9? Yeah, 9, we started r racing on the weekends. No practice, just I had a I had a 1981 YZ60. I had literally leather pants, like, you think I'm kidding. You think
No,
I'm
I
kidding.
don't. I don't. I don't.
Uh,
Oh man. That
sorry.
is freaking hilarious.
No, it's not. I had a helmet, a Bell Moto 3 was blue. This thing, I mean, my parents should be in prison. It was probably 10 sizes too big. Yeah, we rode just the
So where was that?
weekends.
Was that in Northern
LACR.
California
No,
or
Southern California. We lived in, San Fernando Valley, so only on the
okay.
weekends, we'd race LACR. That's the only place ever. No practice, and it was just something fun with the family. Yeah, we didn't take it serious, just it was like something to do with the family. Like, I think I played Little League for, like, a year and a half, and we were doing the racing thing, and then my parents like, "You gotta choose." I said, "Oh, I'll race on the weekends. I don't like team sports. Just race on the weekends," and we did that. I think, we did that every weekend, same track, never rode anywhere else. No
Uh,
practice, just rode the same went Saturdays, we'd practice sometimes at the track, and then Sundays was mainly races, and then race there Fridays and Friday nights. Sundays, and it was just fun, like, family thing, never
Yeah.
got serious,
Uh,
never I mean, I did World Mini Grand Prix, I remember in 92, I raced I had no business being there, I think we got last. Uh, then we went in 93, and I got 2nd. I should have won, but whatever. Got 2nd, and that was the only time we went to amateur race until it was never gonna be like it's hard. I got lucky because I didn't get burnt out like the kids do now,
yeah.
like training facilities, and I like riding, and I wanted to race, but we were always on the road with my dad from, like, 94 94 on. We'd go to all the nationals, just hang out in the box fans. It was fun. It was like a family deal, and
Yeah, so
we never
you're knowing that your dad is who he is now, is you always knew that you had badass bikes, or all your bikes were as
Oh,
good
that's
as
the
they
thing, dude.
possibly could
Dude,
get.
no. So when I was sick, we never had I had one 60, KX60, and I raced it I remember racing it World Mini stock and modified class. We changed the pipe for the modified class. No
Oh,
motor,
no.
nothing, like, I mean, my dad, my mom, like, if you can't ride it to its full potential, you don't need to get motor work. It wasn't like something serious, and even, I rode a KX80 when my dad was on the road with Honda in the box van, we'd go. I'd have my KX in the back, like, I had 1 bike, and it was and then Honda came out with the 90 what was that, 96 when they came out with the new 80? Remember the old one? That old,
Yeah, I remember I say
thing
old
with,
one,
like
dude, that was my first bike was a '98, a '98 RM
oh, no, it's
85,
before
or I
that.
guess
It was way
RM 80.
before yeah, they changed it in '96, I believe. 95. I think it was yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so
'96.
who was, like, the guys at the amateur nationals and stuff at that time, like, that you were racing
Man,
against? Like, you
I
said you
only
went to
ra
World
like I
Mini, who
said,
was that?
only raced World Mini that 1 year in '93 when I did good, and, Jonathan Shimp, I believe, Bobby Bonds, I remember racing him. He had the wild child on the back of his chest protector.
Dude,
The
yeah.
kid who won the 1 class, I've never heard of him again. It was like McGavran and, Johnny Marley. Yeah, there was a lot. I remember seeing Pastrana, he was younger. I remember seeing Ricky on an 80. I remember sitting there and watching him, and he smoked everybody every race. I was like, "Who is this little guy?" As I'm, like, shorter than
Who
him.
you were
I
on
was on
a
a
he was on a
60,
80 when
he was on an 80.
okay,
I remember watching him. Yeah, yeah,
that's
sitting.
crazy.
So we didn't really yeah, that was the only one I ever did. My last year on 80s was '97, and that was the first year I remember going to Australia with my friend at the beginning of the year. I wasn't even that great, and then when I came home, I don't know, I got a deal with Honda because I was, like, their test rider for developing the bike, and
Mhm.
finally had more than 1 bike. They gave me a bunch of bikes, actually, and Bill's pipes, I remember he did my
Ooh.
80s. Dude, I remember, actually, this is a funny story. Cliff White from Honda, he spent, like, 2 weeks grinding me a cylinder. Anybody knows Cliff White, he was a dog back in the day, like, did all David Bailey's, everybody's I remember him doing Lammy's bike and everything, I was, like, all pumped. And I remember because Bill's did my 80, and it was good. And I remember going out and riding Cliff's. He did the cylinder for, like, 2 weeks, and I came in after I'm like, "Dude, this thing sucks." It was so bad,
Dude.
dude, but my 80s, that was the only year, like, I went to Australia in January. I believe we came back in February, and then we went to Mosier. That was
Mosier.
that was the only we went there, and
Mhm.
it was just me, my mom, my brother. I think I was the only one that raced. I think I got 2nd in almost every class to Buckaloo, Justin Buckaloo.
To who? Justin
Justin
Bucklew,
Buckaloo?
holy
Dude,
crap. Dude used to haul ass.
I would've won everything if that dude wasn't there. Oh, I swear, like, I think I got
Dude.
2nd almost I got 2nd. I know I was top 5 every one out, and my parents, like my dad wasn't even there. He was at a race, but my mom would drive us everywhere. They're like, "Oh, we'll go to World Mini next." Went to World Mini,
Yeah.
and I got second everyone there except for the main event. I won the main event, but somehow your qualifying counts or something. I don't know, some weird amateur thing. And
Yeah.
then me and Buckaloo won two. We went to Mammoth. I won the first moto. You won the second moto. I got second again. And then we went to Loretta's. That's the only time I ever been to Loretta's. I remember being tied going into the last moto in stock class, modified class. I got
So you
second
only went to Loretta's once?
once.
Wow.
Yeah, I got second both classes at Loretta. I think I got yeah, my worst moto there was a third, and that was because I
So how
inded.
does so
Yeah,
from
that
there, I guess, through the amateur stuff, you really it wasn't,
it
I guess,
wasn't
the way
yeah,
obviously it
that's
is now.
well, that year I was like, "Oh," I felt like maybe I can do this, and so after Loretta's, I will say once I got on the 125s, I got some Bill's Pipe still did my motors, and they were unreal, but I remember riding, like, Lammy's bike, not race it, but I'd get to ride it. And then, yeah, I went straight to off 80s in 97, came home, raced, moved up to 125, raced some B races, went to Mini O's. I remember it was Pastrana, Buckaloo, Marley. It was a bunch of dudes, like good dudes. I remember winning the first qualifier or whatever, and then I broke my hip. But at the time, my
Where
mom's no me. My mom's like,
where was that at?
at Mini O's. I
At the
broke my
Minios?
hip, yeah, on the Supercross day because I don't remember. They had the TT. I don't even know if you were around back then. They had the TT day, they
Yeah.
had a Supercross day and outdoor. Supercross, the first day, I broke my hip in the whoops. I got misjudged on the timing. Didn't know at the time. Well, I knew. My mom's like, "Ugh, you pulled a muscle." She wraps me up with an ace bandage, makes me walk to the line. Hey, this is a true story. Makes me walk to the line for the next qualify. I can't walk. I'm like crying. Racing that race. Couldn't I remember not being able to sit down, just stand up the whole time, like and I raced the
Mhm.
rest of the week. And then she took me to the chiropractor. I remember in Louisiana on the way home because we have family there. Oh, you tore it. I remember them popping me like worst pain ever. And then yeah, came home. I got another injury and they had to do some CAT scan. They're like, "You know you have a broken hip?" I do well, yeah.
Damn.
So I raced videos in the B class and yeah, I got hurt and then we were racing like Golden States and I was winning. My mom moved me up to pro, like it was my decision too. Like I was winning because there wasn't like I like the competition. I like to challenge myself. So I
Mhm.
moved up to A at the end of 97. Like went from 85s at Loretta's to 125 pro by December,
So
January.
what age were you there?
I was 15. Well, I'll say I moved up end of December, and that's my birthday, the end of December. So I just turned 16.
Okay.
And
And
then
that's
when
whenever did you from that amateur sort of racing and stuff like that, did you go from the straight amateur side like is now to like in the racing outdoors or the Supercross scene, or was there more of a transition period
it
between
was,
those 2
yeah,
races for you?
the one good thing is when I tested for Honda on 80s, they had it was way out in the desert, like their secret facility. And I'd bring my own bike and ride Supercross, like in between sessions. And
Mhm.
I mean, I would change my own shock and fork springs, just go stiffer and just ride that. So that really helped. So yeah, I had some Supercross experience just from that. Uh,
Mhm.
but no, I was just riding outdoors. I'd ride pretty much every day. Gnarly desert tracks, just hard pack. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so it's just
So
crazy.
what
Like
was your first Supercross, like, when you did your first Supercross race, what year was that? And were you riding for a team at that time, or were you privateer?
no, so that 97, 98, I moved up, and my first national was Washougal in 98. And I remember
Okay.
my dad was working for Lamson, and I'd been doing alright, like and they needed someone to ride his bike, and my dad didn't want I was kinda like, "Mom," and they didn't I remember them taking me testing, and they weren't into it really. They were, but they weren't. They took me testing, I remember doing good, and then even my dad didn't let me ride out of the semi because I mean, it's my first race, didn't want my dad works for them. Uh,
Mhm.
Didn't let me they gave me his bike though to race. I
Who was that?
it
Lamson, you said? Steve
Yeah,
Lamson?
Lampton's bike because he was hurt. He was,
Okay.
yeah, that was '98. Remember, I think I won my qualifier on Saturday and Sunday, and then crashed.
Dude, that's
I hole shotted the first moto and then crashed first lap. I remember the bike was all bent in the second moto. I think I crashed again off the start in the second moto, and it's just different. Like, that was the first nerves. It's a different deal. And then after
yeah,
that,
well, going back to what you were saying there is that was they had Saturday heat
Saturday, yeah.
races to even get
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
to
You're not the
Sunday
top.
races. It wasn't
Oh, dude.
a full
And it
1-day deal.
it was gnarly. Like, if you weren't in the top 20, I believe, uh, you had to go to Saturday qualifiers, and then, yeah, top 10 were seeded into the motos, and then you had to qualify on Sunday. If you weren't in the top 10, you had to go to qualifiers Sunday also. Yeah, it was not
Man.
a lot. Yeah, it was eye opening. It was, yeah, it was.
Is that kinda how the GPs work now? Like, they do their Saturday
Dude, those
stuff
dudes
and then
ride
have
like
to do theirs.
they ride too much. I think they have like 40-minute practices, and I don't know. I never liked going out. I don't know about you, but practice, I never liked like practice sessions, like long ones. Like Supercross, you know how easy it is to figure out a track, and I mean you jump the triple on the first lap.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, easy for most guys. Some guys,
Yeah,
need
I
a
don't mean
lot
that,
more
but yeah,
time.
I was never into like the time qualifying and all that. But the GP guys, yeah, they ride too much, I think.
Yeah.
It's so
And
yeah,
then
it's
I
just
don't remember so you rode for was it
yeah, well,
Amsoil Honda at the
yeah, that was
time?
well, no, that first year I remember so after that Washougal, I went to the last 3, I think, Millville, Binghamton, and Steel City. In
Oh,
I just have my own bike. I did
uh-huh.
have good suspension. They did give me suspension. I think I got 11th the first moto at Millville. I might have got I don't know. I did alright, and then FMF Honda at the time, worst decision ever. Their bikes were dude, I don't even so they signed me, to race Supercross the next year. Um, I started riding Supercross. I remember me and Brock Sellards, I hung out with him and
Mhm.
Danny Smith. We'd ride a lot, and I was not good in the beginning, and then by the time Anaheim was coming around, I remember I was good. Like, I
So
feel
what year
like
was that first Supercross for you?
99, 99, 99,
99.
and
Okay.
I feel like that's the year Casey Johnson got hurt, but he was leading. I feel like I could have won races that year, honestly.
And that was your rookie season was
Yes,
99 West
but
Coast?
it gets better. First Supercross Anaheim press day. We're out there, and my bike kind of messed up. It was like bogging a little bit,
Mhm.
and I remember coming in. I remember there was an on off. There was a huge quad. Then you came around. There was like an on off, and I went to go off, and my bike just went boom, just ended into the face. I saved it. Came in, my mechanic. I'm like, dude, he's like, I said, this thing shut off pretty much. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, your air screw was messed up. I'm like, go out there,
Dude.
like an idiot. Like this sounds stupid. First lap, go out. There's a double and then the triple. Double before the triple. I remember doubling and going up the face and then go boom. And I just, dude, I had to
Dude,
eject.
how do you
No, I
what
ejected,
do you think
landed.
about kids these days that
Oh,
don't
they have
never
no
got to
idea.
experience that bog in the pocket? Like, at
They
the
have
just the
no, no,
bottom,
no,
just
no, no,
that
not that.
freaking
They have no idea coming out of the corner and just praying like you have to hit the corner so perfect and just shifting up the face and praying you make the triple. You don't even know. I
Dude,
don't know why you're laughing.
dude, no, I'm laughing because I did, dude, the two-stroke days, like, to get
You
if
did
it was just
not
cold
race.
outside if it was cold outside or warm outside, dude, just the jetting and having to finagle that shit all the time.
I don't want to hear
Yeah,
it.
you're right. I didn't get to ride it on a Supercross track, which I am thankful for that, but I
Oh,
did get to ride those carbureted 4 strokes that
oh, I did
still
too.
suck big time.
I was scared for my life. Travis, I remember being teammates with Travis and him saying, I ain't racing. Our bikes would just, it was bad. So yeah, that year,
Oh,
apparently I
man.
shattered both my heels like bad. I couldn't walk. It was so that, like, ruined my whole career pretty much because my you've seen my feet. How bad is my feet? My left foot, my shifting foot never really moved. I even to this day, I mean,
So
it
that was in '99
that was
Anaheim.
99, my
You
first
broke
Supercross. So
both your
I didn't race any Supercrosses, and I came back for outdoors. I
okay.
should have been in all year, but I needed a ride. I came back outdoors, couldn't even ride. I remember
Mhm.
in the airports, I'm in a wheelchair going to the race and then jumping on a bike. I can't even walk. Uh, yeah, so I got at the end of the year, I started doing better. I think I got some good, decent, and then I had nothing. And Ziggy from Factory Connection, Amsoil,
Mhm.
they
Yep.
offered me they offered me a deal. Just they wanted to get it was just Lorocco, and
Yeah.
that that was actually really cool. That was some of the best times with Mike. Mike's a cool dude.
So was that a
That bike,
Supercross and outdoor deal, or was that
yeah,
just a
yep,
Supercross only
yep.
deal?
I got 5 grand to race Supercross and outdoors. Yep.
You
uh,
got 5 grand?
yeah, 5.
Oh my gosh, 5 grand
No,
and
it
bonuses, I would hope.
yeah, my bonuses that year, I think it was yeah, I got 5 grand for 3rd,
Okay.
10 gr 10 grand for second, and I think 15 or 20 for the win. But
Which is
I'm
about
still
50 grand now.
I dude, don't get me
It's
started
about
on it.
equivalent. It's about equivalent to what it is now. The everything.
And dude, don't get me yeah, it was, but I don't think they thought I would even I remember my bike for one, after Anaheim won, I was like, "Dude, this thing's a dog." 29 horsepower. I raced
Oh,
Anaheim
no
1 with
way.
29 horsepower. We got it up to, I think, 31 by the end of the year, but that
Dude.
2000 dude, those Hondas were bad. But I
Was
did
that the
get
first when that Honda team had first started? Was that when, like, Factory Connection kinda was just in their
no, so their
development phase of
factory
what it graduated to?
oh, yeah, they weren't even it was me, and then I remember I don't blame it. Bill's Pipes did my motors, I believe. It's dude, those things suck. I think a 65 is faster than that thing now. Yeah, I did get some podiums though. I mean, I don't know
So when
how.
that is that same team you're talking about, is that what
Oh,
ended
yeah,
as
sure.
Geico?
Geico.
It was
Yes,
like
yes, yes. Yes,
yeah, okay, yeah.
I was the first one on that team. Like Ziggy wanted to do like the satellite deal, and I did that 2000 year. I didn't do good outdoors. I don't think I got hurt, and no, I got 2 podiums in Supercross, and then he wanted me to sign me the next year. I went to Husqvarna, but that's a whole that was a
Which
bad deal.
yeah, what was Husky?
Fast by Farachi, Fast by Farachi. So there, you were probably still swimming in your dad's my
Probably so. I do not remember a Husky being
it was
like
2001. I
a
remember that their GP guy, Chiodi. I remember going to test the bike,
okay,
and they get GP bike to test. Ok it was good. It's like, "Damn." It was fast because I was on the turd Honda. I was like, "Dang."
yeah,
And then offered me it was 60 grand, just no negotiating, nothing. Take it. I actually
take
didn't
it or
wanna take
leave it.
I didn't wanna take it because I
Yeah.
didn't know for sure about the bike and everything, and I didn't know what if I didn't have a deal with Ziggy then, and then, my dad kinda talked me into going to Husky. I'm still pissed to
So
this
you
day.
rode for Husky for
Yeah, Ziggy ended
whole
up calling
season?
me. Yep, Ziggy called me, like, at the last minute. He's like, "Alright, we're gonna keep you. We're gonna give" I think I got 60 from Husky, and then they were gonna offer me, I think, 65 to stay with Ziggy. But the bikes were so slow, it was tough, and I didn't know what they were gonna do the next year, like, with the bike, how bad it was,
Mhm.
and I ended up taking the Husky deal, which was the worst thing ever, and I remember I was supposed to race West Coast, and we didn't even have bikes in December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I raced
Isn't
East
that
Coast,
crazy to look at that time compared to
but
now
yes.
when
Oh, dude.
obviously those teams have just so much going on, but, like, I feel like when I rode for Star even, it was
Oh, it
'07,
was Buster, right? Star
it
used to
was
be a
just
club
like,
member.
man,
Yeah,
they were just trying to get stuff together, parts, we
and
were
look at
in
him
a
now.
shop
Look at him
and
now.
Big Gun yeah, and
He didn't
it's
have a
just like that
facility.
was kind of normal to have,
Yeah, it
like,
was. It
kinda
was.
winging it almost. There was no
It
like
was.
kind of unless you were a factory Suzuki, factory Honda on PC, like
Yeah.
some of those big teams, they had everything kind of set ready to jet. But if you were on like a
Oh,
satellite team or man,
I
it was
remember that
chaos.
year. The one good thing I will say about that Husky deal, always paid, like, on time, and I didn't even have I remember telling them, "I ain't riding this thing no more." "Oh, you sit home and watch cartoons, they'll still pay you." "Yes." So I stayed home. And for some reason,
So
yeah, that was 2001. I think I got top 5 in a Supercross. I won a heat race, I remember at St. Louis, and then, it was bad. The bike was horrible. It wasn't even the same bike. It was horrible. Travis Preston will tell you. I remember me and him just miserable.
so that
Uh,
year on Husky, you didn't like
oh,
that.
well,
That
it
was just not
was
a
yeah, it was
solid
like a
year.
rat. But for some reason, uh, Ziggy wanted me back at it was Amsoil back then because they had Jessman and Boniface after I left, and their bike seemed
Uh-huh.
alright, and then they were gonna be the full factory team in '02. So I was like, "Hell yeah,
Was
I'll
that
take it."
before the Buku Honda team
Yes,
Boniface
yes.
was on and Justin Keenan
Yes,
was
this
on?
was they Jessamine and Boniface, it was 2001 they were on the team, and it was
Okay.
they were still on that 2001 model Honda, and then I remember talking to them at Redbud, and they wanna sign me. I signed for 40 grand for the '02 year, which I was pumped just to ride a normal bike.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I remember he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a factory Honda deal." So all my stuff was through factory Honda. I remember riding that thing when I got on. I was like, it was night and day. Our '02 Honda, that thing's still one of my favorite bikes I ever rode.
Uh,
It sounded so good. It was really
O2
good.
Honda,
Amsoil.
steel frame.
No, it was dude, you're that old, young. It was aluminum.
Yeah, I am. I I'm sitting here thinking while you're saying that, I'm like, "Man, my first big bike year was
You did not ride the
'05 was
Kazuki,
2
did you?
s
The
the
Kazuki?
what?
The Kazuki? Kawasaki
It was the
Suzuki blade?
same bike.
It's the
Yeah, I
worst
did.
that could
Yeah, it
go
was just the same motorcycle, different
how
plastic.
bad.
I think that
That
was
thing
my
was the
first
worst.
year. I think
Yeah,
that
I
was
remember you
I'm
missed
trying to
out
think
on
of
a
it,
good
yeah.
yeah, that '02 year, I should have won Anaheim 1, I let it to, like, 3 corners to go. We actually had
Mm,
whoop sec back then, where you had to, like, skim them or die. You couldn't jump through them.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, uh
What do you think about the Whoop situation now?
It's it's a joke, I think. I mean, they're punishing guys like Eli and the guys who are good in the whoops, like Kenny, Jet. I don't know. I just don't think it's very and it's not all their fault. I think the bikes are too much now. Like, they're so fast. They tear up the tracks. But I think they make it everything too easy now. You know how it is. Even anything anybody does, they make it easy. Like anything in life.
Well,
I mean, I don't
just for FYI, is I watched back Phoenix 2007 last night just for this because I knew I was gonna have you on here.
Hey, how sketch was I
And
just I can remember on the left side of Whoops, just I had to go to the LCQ.
sending it. Dude, you were
Oh, there.
sending it like we were in the last corner for the race win,
No,
and
actually, I had to go to the LCQ that night, and I learned that line, and it was sketch. I wouldn't even, like, touch the front wheel on the first one, I'd just launch in wide open, and I'd, like, land on
uh-huh.
the 3rd or 4th whoop and just be like, "Oh, I'm good."
Well, dude, what I was thinking was I watched it back. One, how terrible the TV was, like, just the
Oh, you can't
coverage
even
in
see it,
general.
and I got
But
tangled up in the 1st corner with Ryan, and he actually got
yeah,
going
you
ahead
came
of me.
from so far back, dude. I was watching
Yeah, because I knew how
and
to
I was
skim
like, "Man,
whoops.
Chris is." Yeah, and it was, dude. You freaking
That
hauled
was it.
ass and gave me the onion in the corner.
Oh, come on,
But
dude. There was nothing I could do. You were going
then
so slow through the whoops, I couldn't stop.
hey, man, that was my second race. You used me to stop. That's when I got baptized. I was like,
I still
"Man,
don't understand how you're mad at that. How you were at
I
that
wasn't
I didn't even
mad
think
at
you were
it.
mad. I didn't even touch you.
I wasn't mad at the situation. I think
You were
it was my
I know where
second
you're yeah.
race,
It was your yeah, I would be dude, I know
and
exactly
I
how you
didn't
feel.
know,
You're
dude.
mad at
I didn't
yourself,
know
you
how
know,
that
and like,
worked. I mean, you were a veteran on the PC
yeah.
team. Those
Yep.
bikes, first of all, those bikes in general were just like
Oh, they
a
were unreal.
step ahead of everybody else. And
They
then, yeah, you
were.
just gave me the freaking onion, and I just was not used to that. So I was
I
like,
didn't touch it. It
"Man."
was a clear pass though. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, it was. I kinda fell into you, and I made sure I watched it back because it
I don't
was
think
just
you
a
touched,
little
did
over
we?
a lap left.
Yeah, it was a lap and I didn't know. I was just I thought you were in, like, 8th.
I could have been
I
hey, I
honestly
rode
didn't
pretty
know.
solid. I'm not gonna lie, I watched that, I was like, "Man, I didn't ride that bad." But,
No, you should have podiumed that if
uh
some brick didn't hit you in a corner.
yeah, I know this freaking D-bag came in so hot, this 102, just
No,
freaking
I
trying
didn't
to
know what I honestly didn't know that was for a podium until when I did pass you, I remember going I don't know about you. Did you ever look at the pit board?
I honestly, no,
Yeah.
and I feel like they put the pit boards in the dumbest places
Oh,
anyways
yeah.
where you can't see the damn thing, so, yeah,
And
I
for
and
some
what was
reason, I
crazy
remember
was
yeah, I just remember all the mechanics hanging over like, 1, 2, 3, because that's the night Purcell won, Billo got 2nd, I
mhm,
got 3rd, and I was like, "Wait,
yeah,
what?" Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
yeah.
I
There
would've made more dirty if I knew it was for 3rd.
yeah, I bet you would've.
No, don't even start me on that. We'll get to it.
Okay, before we go there, I s
Yeah, we'll
the
get to it.
season before, you had a solid you signed with PC, and you had a badass season. You had, what, 6, 7 podiums in a row. You finished
Yeah,
2nd in the
I should have probably
championship.
yeah. Well, I had to go to Motor World Suzuki, which that's why I know about that Kawasaki Suzuki thing, which was I think I would've done better on my 2000 125 that was like 29 horsepower. That's oh my god. That's miserable. And I don't know if I finished a race. I didn't even wanna go
On
to
the
the race.
Motor
I
World bike?
wanted to dude, I tried to quit before the season. I'm like, "I ain't racing. This is" same thing you were talking about, like, last minute, no testing, and I was just coming off the, Geico bike or Amsoil back then, the first year we went to 4 strokes in '04, and I think we had the best bike then. And I remember riding that Suzuki thing the first day at Star West, like, I'm
Dude, Star West.
yeah.
That place is that place still open?
I don't know, I don't know, actually.
I
I
don't
know
think it
Glen Helen
is.
is. Yeah, I don't know, I don't live down there anymore. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't know.
so moving from there, you finished y 2nd
I
in the
didn't
series to Davey Millsap?
yeah, so, yeah, that '05, like, I was gonna ride my own bike. I remember buying a Honda, and then Troy Adams at the time was on PC, and he broke his femur, and
Mhm.
my buddy was his mechanic, and I remember him calling me, "Dude, Troy broke his femur, they need a replacement," and so there was a lot of guys calling Mitch, and I kept calling him, and I know how Mitch is. I've known him since, yeah, I was little because when we traveled around, I went down there finally because I knew what he was doing. He wouldn't pick up the phone. I know Mitch, he wants you down there. So I went down there.
Mhm.
I remember telling him, "Dude, I will podium every race." He's like, "You ain't gonna do that," but and I actually would've if they didn't red flag Atlanta the 2nd round, and then I end up because I hole shot it, and the red flag in the 2nd one, I crashed on the 1st lap and bent up on bike, but yeah, I had a good year that year. Like, it was yeah, it was good. Their bikes were good, really good, but yeah, I remember just going to the test track every day, just motos, 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 motos. So
What
that
was
was a good
that
year.
bike difference for you going from, like you said, doing your own deal to
Yeah,
then
well
at prime
yeah, it
PC
was
race team bike? I mean, that was the
yeah,
most
that
elite bike
was
there was at that time.
dude, I couldn't ride it, like, the first few times because it was fast, and then it felt so rigid, like because I was on my own deal and my bike I always set my bike kinda softer for Supercross back in the day,
Mhm.
and it was so stiff, I remember. It took me a while, but once I got used to it, like, it took me till, like, probably 'cause they put me on East Coast, I started riding it, I think, beginning of December. Oh, I remember Villa was there, and he broke his collarbone, uh, in December. I'm like, "Dude, I gotta race West Coast now." And I remember
Oh,
his
man.
I was like, "Dang." And I remember his dad's like, "We're going to the hospital right now, getting it plated." And he was back in, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
yeah, that was a
does
good
that
year.
happen? I guess it seems like there's so many more guys on the teams now, but I remember that happened to me one year that I was planning on riding East. I was so set on riding East, and then someone got hurt like the week before Anaheim, and then Bobby Reagan was like called me up. He's like, "Matt, you're riding tomorrow. Or you're racing tomorrow." I'm like, No, I'm not. Like, I'm ready to race the East Coast, but I don't think people know that, like, at that time, if you're on the team and the West Coast guy gets hurt, everyone
I
almost
was
needs to be
Yeah.
ready.
Luckily, I was always West. Uh, I actually got hurt one year. I didn't tell the team. I broke my foot in half on Christmas in '03. I remember going the first race. I couldn't even ride, and, yeah, I just you know how it was, you just rode through it. It
Mhm.
was but I always rode West. I never had to deal with, "Oh, you're gonna go to" until that year with Mitch, and he likes his guys ready no matter what, and I just got on the team, and I wasn't ready by any means.
Yeah.
I would've figured it out, like, I was fine by the time West started, but the extra time, like, I remember riding with Langston a lot, and I'd go with Michael Byrne because he was on the factory 450 or 250 or whatever they were on. I ride with
Mhm.
them every day and then better, and by the time East Coast came around, I felt yeah, I was good.
Alright, so yeah, we were talking about your PC years towards the
Yeah.
kinda towards the end of your career.
Yeah, I
What
rode
was it? Go ahead.
'06, '07. Yeah, '06, '07, and I was supposed to ride East Coast again in '07, and I felt like I coulda won that year. And then someone got hurt again, like you said, that I actually did have to go west. I think Townley it was Townley and who was the
Well,
other guy?
dude,
Because they had to bring in a Phillip.
PC team that year was stacked.
Yeah, it was Townley because he ended up winning the championship, and it was Darcy Lange because he had to fill in for man, who did we have that got hurt? Yeah, but I ended up having to ride west that year, and I didn't have a good year. I think I only had 2 podiums. And yeah, outdoors, I got hurt at outdoors and I could tell I was like, I wasn't having fun really. And not that I wasn't having fun, it was just, you know how it is once you're getting to the end there and it's coming. You're
Yeah,
just
so
trying to,
towards the end, was it like your kinda career-ending injury that happened? Or like you said,
that,
you're just
that was
over
from the
it?
first race. Yeah. I mean, my foot, people don't know this, but it was hard to walk. Everybody's seen me
Mhm.
walk, limp, but it was hard to ride. I mean, I learned how to do it, but yeah, it hindered me a lot. It's not an excuse, but it you've seen I mean, it's even to this day, I still have to get I mean, my best option is to cut it off. I've gone and seen doc No, you think I'm kidding? You
He
think I'm
said,
kidding?
"Just cut that thing off."
I'm go
No,
ahead,
I mean,
okay.
I've seen it, like, and I could see how it reminded me or not, gave me a memory of Dennis Jonan, that kinda ended
Oh,
his
man, hey, he had the yeah, he had that little
the
yeah,
high, like, foot peg, thing,
yes, I
and
remember that. That was because he broke his femur.
yeah, it was his femur, but it was just like his balance was all off, and I could see if your foot's, like,
No,
bothering like
my left leg is 2 inches shorter than my right, and,
yeah.
like, hips, like yeah, just yeah, it is racing, you're hurt for life. I wouldn't trade it though, I'd trade my foot.
Yeah. So that was towards the end, and you
Yeah,
pretty much were just like
I signed with, that Troy Lee. I was supposed to ride Supercross, Supermoto, and then the bikes actually were good, and I was doing like, I felt good in Supercross, and then typical Christmas Eve, I was riding at the Alessi's, we were doing one of those races, and I think it was Dan Reardon, he, like, hit neutral on off, and I broke my back, broke my shoulder, and I think I did something else, and I tried to ride I couldn't even ride. Yeah, so ruined that year. So, yeah, that was pretty much it, and, I mean, it
so
was
it's a
coming in.
total of you raced from '98 to, like, 2008 pretty much?
Yeah, I still raced after that, but I was never really I raced all the way to 11, I think. Uh,
Okay.
didn't I? No, I stayed at Tommy Hahn's, I think in, 2010 or not. Yeah,
Yeah, I rode with Tommy,
working
around that time a little bit,
you were
um,
still mad at me for '07 Phoenix?
probably. I I feel like it's funny because we talk about these things, and I talk to some of the guys that I absolutely would not speak to racing, and it's
Oh, it's
funny that
crazy,
here
right?
it is so many years
And
later,
then me and you, like, after
you know
that, like, I'd come to your house, we'd go fishing. Yeah, it's different, like, you always think that guy's a dick. and then come to
Mhm.
find out, like, you got so much in common. I mean, we're friends. We've been friends for ever
For
since.
a long time.
Yeah, you forgave me.
Yeah. No, it is crazy. So that transition from racing to
That
not
yeah,
riding
yeah, that
anymore, when
was
you
hard.
decided
That's
you were
hard.
gonna,
Yeah,
like
that's hard. You know, it's hard, like, that's all you had, and then you have nothing. And then for me, like, growing up with brothers, everything's like a competition. Like, I have to be competitive, anything I do, and it's just hard not having anything. So I just yeah, it's still, like, it gets mentally tough sometimes
so
just to have
when you got done racing, did you think that you had anything lined up, or you were just like, "I'm gonna figure it out when it's time to, like,
yeah.
call this thing done," or
I didn't go to
I
school.
mean
I mean I homeschooled, but yeah, I didn't go to school. I didn't have nothing, like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I had nothing. I just didn't know what to do. I was no money. I mean, I blew through all the millions
yeah.
we were racing back then.
You were making the millions, man, all those
Dude,
podiums and that $7,000 contract.
I probably made the least amount of money of anybody by far. I passed up so many deals that would have been financially 10 times better just to stay loyal. And in the end,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you look back, you're like, I don't know. They're only as good as your last race. They're never gonna be
I feel like
loyal to
you're
you.
just so I feel like you're just so disposable, you know?
But
I
you are,
got
you are.
I got offered several times to do fill-in rides, and I always thought of it people were like, "Matt, take that ride,
They
go
want you
do
doing it
that,"
for
and I'm
free,
like,
right? For free.
well, they want you to ride for free, first of all, but then it's like, okay, you do it for the 4 rounds, and then when that rider comes back, then I gotta go crawling back to the people that did sponsor me, and I never did that. I was just like, "Man, these people stuck with me before the season started, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be loyal to these people that are actually paying me to race and go to the track," and,
Yeah, if you're getting paid
um
and then the team's offering you, like, fulfilling for free, like you, I'd be like unless they had a really good bonus money and you knew you were gonna like, when I filled in for PC, it was free, but I needed that, though.
yeah.
I knew I had to make money, I had to get on the podium, but
Mhm.
still, I didn't make much money in my career. Like, the most amount of money I made, I think, was my last year at Geico. I think I got 120,
What
and
year
that was
was that?
'04. That was a year yeah,
Okay.
I blew out my shoulder that year, and then they dropped me, and then I started podium at the end of the year outdoors, but I couldn't ride in the beginning because my shoulder was I had to have surgery. I did my rotator cuff and came back in, like, 2 months, maybe less, just to try to keep my
Damn.
ride. Yeah. I remember the outdoors
Yeah,
was
so
rough. It was rough.
so at the end of that, after it was all said and done, you were like, "Okay, I don't have anything to do." Like, what did you find yourself filling that time with? Like, I said it
Um,
before, it was like, I felt lost as hell,
oh,
and
I still to this day, like, I don't have a job or anything. It's hard when you do that your whole life, and then now you're like I mean, I love my life now. My kids, I got lucky, with my situation, like, my wife she works, uh, great job, but, yeah, it's hard, just you feel kinda worthless for a while.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel
And is
like
it something I feel like for me, I went obviously, and I've said it, is like I went down like probably the wrong way that you want to do it whatsoever. Is like get done racing and then just like, yeah, just do all the things that you definitely don't
yeah,
want to
because
do.
when you're a kid, you
Um,
don't do any of that, like, when you're racing, you can't do any it's like, at least me, I was straight, just no fun, no friends. You don't really have a childhood, you don't have friends, you don't go out. Yeah, and then when you do get done, you wanna experience all that stuff. I mean, I
mhm.
never really went that bad, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very slippery slope,
It's more
and
yeah, for me, it's more like hard to say, mentally challenging, I guess, like, yeah, it's
yes,
hard to
okay. So when it was all said and done, and then, like, what do you try to fill your time with now? Do you still
I
exercise
golf.
or
Oh,
find
dude.
yourself exercise? I mean, I know, like you said, you came down here, we
Uh,
fished for a long
dude.
time.
Yeah, so, I got into fishing and did that. That was cool. It's just different. I'm really into golf, like, once I was done racing, like, I started golfing, now it's like, I love it, and I do a lot of tournaments. I belong yeah, the country club I'm at, I golf every day, and you just get that competition, like, when you're playing good guys, and yeah, I just do that mainly. I golf, watch my girls, that's about it.
And do you feel like at the end of the day, Chris Gosselaar is happy? Like, do you feel fulfilled?
Yes and no. I don't know. It's hard, like, for me, it's different, you know, it's just different. I feel like I need more. Like, I need to do something or start a business or I'm always thinking of stuff, but on the other
Yeah.
hand, I don't travel and yeah, I don't know. I like
Well, I
where I'm
remember
at now.
you came down here, we went fishing, and it was whenever
You threw
I
my
had gotten
keys
hurt.
and then you threw my keys in the lake for my truck?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That was when we kind of we set aside the 2007 incident finally, and
Oh
you came
god.
down to come fishing down in Texas,
And it was
and I had
hotter
a
than an
knee
octopus.
injury. I had that little bitty boat I was borrowing from my friend Cody Allison.
Okay.
Yeah, you were down here fishing, I was doing physical therapy, and then you asked me,
Oh, you
"Are you
weren't?
were your keys?" Yeah, I was. I had a torn ACL. When you came the first time, I had that little bitty boat, and then I left the day your keys went in the lake. I left from there, went to physical therapy, and that's why your keys were in the lake in the first place.
No, because you threw them to me and they went I said, "Here, how do you" I wish people
Yes,
could see
because I had to
our boats are
leave.
touching
I
each other.
had to
"Hey, my
leave.
keys." 18 feet of water. How
No, I
long did
was
we
in a
dive for that?
different boat.
I know, but how do you miss the boat? We're touching boats. How do you throw it over? Remember
Yeah.
how deep
Well,
I
that
mean,
I don't know. I don't know
I
about
remember
that,
trying to
but
hold my breath for like 2 minutes just down there digging. Oh my
dude,
god.
and then, what's funny about that story is I had went loaded the boat up at down the road, and
Oh,
then
yeah, you have to get
I
one
went
trailer.
dude, I went brought my boat home. I came back with my truck, and I was unhooking your trailer from your truck
Yeah,
to
but
put on my
wasn't
truck,
it
and
like
the
the
game
cops
warden
or
comes
yeah, the
up.
game was,
He
"What are
came
you
up, he's like,
doing?"
"Son, I hope that you have a good reason why you're taking that guy's trailer off of his truck and
Yeah,
putting
because
it
that's
on
what
your
was
truck."
I remember that.
And
That
I was
was a
like,
good
"Yes, sir, I do.
story.
I actually, I actually threw his keys in the lake." And, yeah, we pulled your boat back to my house, and, yeah, that was pretty
That was
funny.
a good time, though. Those were like, I like that stuff, like, when we're done, like, when you make a lot of friends, in the sport, and you'll have lifelong friends, and like us, we've had some good
Yeah, I
times.
feel like you said, it's going back. There's the people that when you race, you just were so zoned in, dude. You're just like, screw him. I
Yeah.
cannot stand him. And then it comes full circle. And now, we're all buddies. And we look back and we're like, dude, that was so dumb. But in that time, everybody's competing for money, competing for results, competing for rides. It's
I
funny
didn't
to
even know
look
you
at it
didn't
now
like
and
me.
laugh at it.
I honestly didn't know you were mad about I didn't think I did anything, and then until Seattle when you torpedoed me. And then
Dude,
I just remember you coming off the track cussing at me. I'm like, "This dude, we're going to the LCQ. What are you doing?"
yeah,
I'm like,
I think all I remember from that race was one that I came off the triple and I just seen you in the corner and I was
"Oh,
like,
yeah,
dude, I'm going for
dude, I remember,
it.
like, my mechanic's like, "What what did you do?" I'm like, "I don't even know what you doing." I never even the only time I ever seen him was in Phoenix. And I remember coming off the track and I remember my mechanic saying something, and you were I don't know, I thought you were crazy.
I don't remember that part. I remember hitting
Oh,
you
I
and us
remember
both
that,
going down
and then I was like, "Dude, this
and
dude's crazy." I didn't like you then after that for no reason.
well,
That was funny.
I did my night there from what I remember ended really bad. Do you remember how rutted those triples would get there?
Oh, I hate Seattle. I hate even
Eh,
watching those races now with those ruts, because you know how it is dragging the foot pegs, and TV don't
mhm.
do justice. TV does
Yeah.
not I watch, where were they at? Indy? And I can't even barely watch. My hands sweat, I'm just like, "Dude, I'm out waiting." It's bad. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You're
So
just
that's what I was
so
gonna ask you
yeah,
now. Is there anything that you when you were done racing or even looking at it now, do you miss from
no,
racing or
nope,
you said no?
not well, back in the two-stroke days, yeah, but once it went to four strokes, everything changed, just with everything, like, the technology now with everything, it's different, like, I don't know, I like watching it, like, I have my own track, I ride, I had Yamaha 450s, but dude, it's too much bike. I raced Mammoth 2 years ago, and I actually did train and got ready, and while I'm doing it, I remember I started training, like, February, March, just for this one race. I was miserable. I remember telling my wife, I'm like, "Dude, I do not miss it. This ain't fun." And I'm, like, 40, and yeah, it's just a lot you know how much work it is. It's a lot of work. You're giving up so much of your life for yeah, it's way more work than people think. And that's one thing I hate
Yeah,
now. "You've never had a real job. You don't know what it's like to work." I'm like, "You have no clue. It's not it's not easy. It's fun. I mean, yeah, it's a great job, but it's hard.
yeah.
I don't miss
It's
getting hurt. I don't miss, like, fearing for your life when you're in those ruts. I don't know.
yeah.
I like watching it.
Yeah, I like watching it. I follow it really closely
I
now,
get mad
and
too. I don't know about you. I get mad too when I see some of the tracks, how dumbed down they are and how easy. I don't know.
okay, so what do you think about the whole racing incident with the track marker?
Stupid. I love Deegan. I mean, I know I just like his attitude. And he's not like that in person. You know that. It's
Mhm.
just I just like his dog, like, "I'm gonna do this." I just think that track
Yeah.
market, that's stupid. Like, come on. What it didn't gain him anything. He's gonna win anyways. I don't know.
The way I
I mean,
was looking at it
well,
was
they have the Red Cross situation, and then they changed that, so why dock Deegan for that? Remember the one week they changed the rule on the Red Cross,
mhm.
and they
Well,
didn't
what I
dock
was looking at it as, imagine if that was the last race and that was deciding between a championship or not. You know, would that same penalty have been applied if that win would have meant the
oh,
championship or
nope,
not?
nope, they woulda got crucified, no way,
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I
no
don't
way.
know. I don't and then I also thought it's like, dude, on outdoors, and I think I seen Reed post something about this, but dude, how many of those markers were like optional? You know, like they
Did
were
we
just
ever stay
lines
inside of them?
dude,
They
3
were,
foot on the outside of those
what did
markers.
we call them? We called them something like reference markers or
Yeah. It's
and
like that's where
always
you should
the
stay.
smoothest line was always on the inside of them.
Yeah.
And remember, it would get rough on the inside of them. No one ever followed them. It would get rough on the inside of them where the track wasn't.
Yeah. I remember there being like, golly, I think it was High Point where the inside would be a roller. There'd be a marker on the corner,
Yeah.
but then people would start hopping it and then running the roller like as a berm on the inside of it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
dude, those little lines would develop all over the place. And if you could find them, dude, you were
Well,
dialed because
if
you
they're
could
gonna make
save
that
so
split
much
lane,
time.
if they're gonna do those split lanes, build a big dirt deal like a embankment or something. I don't know. Or don't do the split
Yeah, I
lane.
agree. I agree. And what I was thinking was it would be different if he went inside and then cut across and went inside. I could see that. But like
Well,
just a last minute, like kind of adjustment change, like, hey, I'm gonna go inside because I see someone in the outside. I don't
yeah.
agree with it either. I think that
Was
was
he around?
very silly move.
I watched the race and then I didn't even know he got penalized till the next day. I was
Yeah.
on my or something. I just saw an interview with him. He's like, "I don't care. Whatever." I don't know. Was he around anybody when he did that? I mean, I saw video. I didn't see him around anybody.
I think there was someone in the corner. So whenever he saw them in the corner, I think he made like a decision at the last minute, like to jump across to the inside. But
And didn't he
I
only
don't
miss
think it
like one
was,
or didn't it wasn't it like the first or second one
he
mark?
missed the first one and then kind of clipped, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure, but kind of clipped the second one. But it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm with you.
I mean,
The
if you're gonna
outdoors that I've
penalize him
seen
then
that had a split lane, they had a dirt 2 foot tall
oh yeah,
mound.
yeah.
You know, you could not cut across it.
Put a barbed wire fence up there.
Throw a couple logs, you'll be all right.
I don't know, I just think that penalty is so stupid. How far did he win by, like but he also cruised at the end. I think you should
Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna penalize him, give him, like, 3-second penalty or something, I don't know.
yeah. I'd say
They
don't
just
take
need to
away
be
the win.
more
Maybe if you wanna dock him some points or fine him, then that's fine, but you can't
yeah,
change
fine.
the result.
I'd fine him. That 500 is gonna
Yeah,
kill him. He'll learn his
yeah.
lesson.
Alright, now going back to what we were talking about is looking now, what would you tell if you could go back and do everything at 16 years old all over again?
Oh,
Would
man,
you
I think
change
about that.
anything, or what would
Or
you
I would
do
listen
differently?
I would actually, listen to my dad and actually work a lot harder. Because when you're young, you know how it is, you're just in good shape. I mean, you're riding every day, you feel like, "Oh, I don't need to work out, I don't need to run, I don't need to do this." I would've listened to my dad a lot more, for sure. I would've changed a lot, though. I wouldn't have jumped that triple when my bike's bogging.
Yeah, I mean, those are definitely easy to sit there and be like, "Ah, I wouldn't have did that," but
Yeah, I
I
don't
would
know
say just
yeah.
as a whole, like, obviously, it's just hypothetical, but,
Yeah, I know.
I said the
I
same
think about
thing
that
as,
all the
like,
time.
I
I
definitely
always
would've
think
worked a
about that.
lot harder.
If I know now what I if I knew what I know now, things would have been
Mhm,
way different, but that's why like, my daughters now, I try to tell them, and you know how it is when you're young, you ain't gonna listen to your parents. Like, dude, they're crazy, and you're older now,
mhm,
like, they were right, and I try to get that in my daughter's head, "Dude, you gotta I know, but you're kids, I don't know." Yeah,
yeah,
there I would change things. I would've worked a lot harder, like, in the beginning. I definitely would have taken different rides for money, but other than that, no. I mean, yeah, I I loved racing. I love the sport. It makes us who we are today. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
yeah,
I love everything about it. It was actually it was good for our family. I mean, we were always a family traveling together. I loved that part of it.
y yeah, it's
Yeah.
something you have to experience and go through with your own family. Everybody has their own story,
Yep.
but at the
It's
same
different
time, as they're
now.
all so
Yeah.
similar.
It's so different now, they're traveling in motorhomes, and we were I was working on my own bike, traveling in a van with a trailer, sleeping in our van, but I loved it. Now I
Yeah,
look
dude, it
back,
was
you appreciate it.
yeah, and just like you said, your parents had 4 boys,
Oh, yeah,
traveling with
we
4 boys,
dude,
racing, like, think of yourself doing that today.
that's one thing if I know if I had a boy, he'd probably be riding. I wouldn't want him to, but he probably would. My daughter actually my oldest, she loves riding. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm kinda glad now. I mean, not glad, but I'd be at the races now probably.
Yeah, as much as you gotta say bad about
You're
it,
like,
like,
"No,"
or
just like Villo, he's like, "Nah, we ain't racing." His kids still ride. Are they getting into it more?
oh, yeah, 100%. He's full-blown mini dad.
His
He
kids are gonna
is
be good, though. His kids are gonna be good. You watch. They got
yeah,
it.
well, they definitely got a good coach. That's
Yeah, they got red hair
that's step
too.
number 1.
Yeah, they got red hair. They
Yeah.
should champions.
Yeah,
No, yeah, his
that's
kids will be
funny.
good. I've seen them on Instagram. I think his kids are gonna be really good.
Isn't that crazy though? You said you're like, "I see his kids on Instagram." Like,
I
they're
know.
gonna be good where
No, you could tell. I mean,
yeah,
you could just tell when a kid like, you know who's gonna have it and who's like I always said, Deegan's I knew when Deegan was like yeah, I call he's gonna be good. He's just got that dog. Jet, I knew Jet. I bet I actually that a funny story. I went to Nashville. This was before Jet got on the 450 outdoors. I was with Michael Byrne and Dan Truman, and I tried to bet him $1,000 that Jet would win the 450 championship in outdoors. He's like, "Oh man, here." I was like, "Dude, he's gonna be so good." He won every race. He didn't take the bet, but he lost some other bet and still hasn't paid me.
just call them out.
He owes me a 144 kit for my 125 from Athena and won't deliver.
It's crazy to me that just like you said, you could see the kids that just have that swagger,
Oh,
the riding, just the
so
yeah, like you said, it's just something you could see so easily that it's like, "Hey, that kid's gonna be badass someday."
no,
He has it.
just I know I see some kids now, you're like, "Yep, he's gonna" and then there's also kids you never would think, and then They're great.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah, I
I
think
think they
that's just the
burn
work
I
that's
think
that worth ethic.
I think they get too burnt out now. I think they do too much at a young age. Like they're what, like 7 at training facilities? I just think it's hard
Yeah, it's a lot of
keep
training
that in to
facilities
keep
now.
that to keep that through from that age up until you know how hard it is even when you I mean, when you're there, you're burnt out, like, in a few years, and they're starting that young.
I
I don't
know
know.
for myself, I get burnt out on a lot of things. I'm, like, constantly every, like, couple years, I get into something
Oh,
new
I
and
was the same way, and now
like
I'm just like, yeah, I would shove like, fishing, golfing, but now I'm just like, I'll ride once in a while, I have my own track, and I'll ride once in a while, and then I get sore, and I'm like, "I'm not riding anymore." And then I just golf and fishing, yeah, fish, golf, yeah. I was the
Well,
same way
heck
though, you're
yeah.
trying to find that, something, you're trying to find something, something, something. Yeah, I was the same
Yeah,
way. Yeah, I'm just dedicated to
yeah.
golf now.
Alright, I got one last question for you is, in 20 years from now, what do you wanna be remembered for, or what would you like people to remember you for?
I don't even think they remember me now. Uh,
That's not true.
I don't know, maybe just being
I wouldn't even say it doesn't even have to pertain to, like,
no,
racing. I would just say
I
as
went
a
to
person,
racing,
you know?
just being myself, like, I like to be myself. I like to make people laugh and just I like to be myself. I don't hold anything back, you know me. I'll say it like it is. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, just not a lot of people like it nowadays, though, the truth. I don't know. Just
Yeah, I feel
someone
like
I just like making people laugh, having a good time. I don't know. That's just me.
yeah.
People are gonna be
Well,
weird
shoot,
no
man,
matter
I appreciate you very much for
Oh,
taking the
thank you.
time and
Like I said,
talking to
I'll have
me and
to
kinda going down memory lane, and, yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime, and,
I'll drive off. I'll
yeah, I
bring a spare
appreciate it
set
very
of
much.
keys. I'll bring a spare set of keys. I'll drive out there.
No,
Alright, no worries.
we'll have Jenna mail them down.
No, I'm gonna bring an extra set. I'll go to the dealer and get 2 extra sets. She did mail 'em down though.
She
I was like, "Me
did.
too." Well, after I got done diving for
Alright.
an hour. Alright. Alright, dude.
Alright,
Thanks for
Crystal,
having me.
it was good
Thank you.
talking to you, bud. I'll
Uh,
see you later.
later. Bye.
Once again, thank you all very much for following along. If you like what you heard or like these episodes, please like, subscribe, share with everyone you may know. It really helps promote the channel and reach a broader audience. So thank you all so much, and I hope to see y'all around on another one soon.